like he doesn't have money.
And what we doing?
Standing on business.
Feds storming into a high-end jewelry spot that's iced out almost every big rapper in Atlanta. Yeah, that place, Icebox Diamonds and Watches. This is the same shop known for loading artists up with flashy chains, diamond watches, and custom pieces that turn heads the second they step outside. We're talking major names: T.I., 21 Savage, Migos, Meek Mill, Drake, Offset, Ludacris, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, Young Thug, EST. Basically anyone who's anybody has stepped inside that Buckhead showroom and spent serious money. Their Instagram alone blew up past 1 million followers, showing artists walking in, checking out diamonds, trying on Rolexes, and getting custom chains made right in front of the camera. That content turned Icebox into a powerhouse brand overnight. It's the same playbook as Johnny Dang. Bring in the stars, load them up with jewelry, post it online, and let the hype pull in even more customers. Simple system, big results. And people already saw the drama surrounding Johnny Dang. Talk about fake pieces, rumors of raids, and the internet going wild. But what's happening with Icebox feels way deeper.
What the Yeah, this finna the world up.
Hey, no.
He likes to act like he doesn't have money.
And what we doing?
Standing on business.
Bro, my first diamonds came from Icebox. Okay.
Christmas came early.
This isn't just talk floating around online. There are real lawsuits, federal investigations, and connections to a massive multi-million-dollar case. Some rappers have even gone on record claiming they were overcharged or pressured into deals, raising serious questions about what was really going on behind those glass counters. That price, people are saying it's not even close to what it should be. Now things start getting serious. We've got a store manager reportedly restrained inside his own home while a crew cleared out safes packed with somewhere between $5 and $10 million worth of merchandise. Then authorities step in, taking down entire groups and recovering Icebox pieces with the original tag still attached. And on top of that, artists who used to shop there are now speaking out, warning others that the jewelry scene can be full of questionable pieces and that more truth could surface soon. So today, everything gets put on the table. Every artist they made chains for, every dispute, every lawsuit, every behind-the-scenes deal, and every bit of evidence people are talking about. By the end of this, you might see that Icebox YouTube channel in a completely different way. Let's really break this down. To understand how it got this far, you have to go back to the beginning, how Icebox actually built its name. This wasn't some small family shop that randomly blew up in the music scene. This was calculated from the start. Icebox Diamonds and Watches set up in Buckhead, Atlanta, one of the most high-end areas in the Southeast where all kinds of money move through daily. The business is run by key figures like Mo Jula and Jeff Munoz, handling daily operations. These are the same faces seen in those viral Instagram posts standing next to artists. But what really set Icebox apart from other jewelry stores was simple. They figured something out early that most others completely missed. The real secret here is hip-hop marketing power. Think about it. One artist wears your chain in a music video, posts it on Instagram, or mentions you in a song, and suddenly every rising rapper in Atlanta wants to step into your shop. That kind of exposure is worth millions, and all it takes is a few custom pieces to make it happen. So Icebox leaned into that strategy heavy. They started offering payment setups to artists, but not the typical kind you'd see in regular stores. This was a whole different level. They would let artists walk out with high-end pieces, Rolexes, Cartier bracelets, custom diamond chains, with the agreement that payment would come later. But here's where it gets interesting and important. A lot of these deals came with conditions. Artists were expected to wear the jewelry in public and post it across social media. In other words, you're not just a customer, you're promoting the brand every time you step out. You get to show off pieces you haven't fully paid for yet, while the store gets non-stop exposure. On the surface, it sounds like a perfect trade-off, right? The artist looks fully iced out and the jeweler gets major promotion. But in reality, this is where things can get complicated. What happens if payments stop coming in? What if the value of the pieces gets questioned? And what if artists are out here wearing massive amounts of jewelry on credit and the business relationship suddenly falls apart? That's when everything starts to shift. That's when lawsuits start stacking up, accusations start flying, and people quietly start questioning the quality of what Icebox is really putting out. And those quiet conversations, they didn't stay quiet for long. They got louder and louder. But before getting into the drama, it's important to see just how wide Icebox's reach is. In hip-hop, the client list is stacked. T.I., an Atlanta legend, has been connected with the store for years. 21 Savage has been spotted in there multiple times checking out pieces. Migos, Quavo, Offset, and Takeoff were all regulars, and not just for one chain either. They were known for picking up full collections at a time. Meek Mill has been seen at Icebox more than once, with the store heavily showcasing that connection across social media. Then you've got Drake, yes, that Drake, linked to purchases at the high-end shop. Ludacris is on the list too, another Atlanta icon. Lil Baby has been frequently seen inside the showroom, along with Young Thug, who becomes a major part of this story later on. Lil Durk also enters the picture, and interestingly, he's one of the voices that started cautioning others about how the jewelry business works. Even Drewski, the comedian, reportedly spent around $100,000 on custom pieces from Icebox. And that's just the surface. We're not even counting athletes from the NFL and NBA, actors, and other entertainers who've walked through those doors. Icebox wasn't just a jewelry shop, it became a major cultural stop. In Atlanta, making it big almost felt connected to stepping inside that showroom at least once. Icebox has been using advanced 3D printing tech to produce custom, made-to-order jewelry. And here's the key detail: diamond chip pieces. These aren't large single diamonds, they're tiny fragments grouped together to create that fully iced out look. From a distance, under the right lighting, especially in photos or music videos, these pieces shine like crazy and grab attention instantly. At first glance, they look flawless, bright, flashy, and expensive. But when you take a closer look, really examine what someone might have spent $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 on, that's when people start asking questions. Because diamond chip jewelry and high-grade diamond pieces are not the same thing at all. And when it comes to pricing compared to material value, let's just say the gap can be pretty wide. Now, to be clear, this isn't only about one store. This kind of setup shows up across the entire celebrity jewelry scene. A lot of the business works on presentation, how it looks, how it shines, how it shows up on camera. Most artists aren't walking in with detailed knowledge about diamond grading or technical specs. They're focused on appearance, how it hits in photos, and how it represents their image. And the jewelers understand that completely. It's been part of the game for a long time. But when you combine big spending, strong personalities, and questions around value in a fast-moving city like Atlanta, situations can escalate quickly. And that leads right into one of the biggest conflicts connected to this story: Young Thug and Icebox. Money, lawsuits, serious accusations, missing jewelry during a video shoot, and a legal dispute worth around $350,000. This situation has everything. Here's how it unfolded. Young Thug, born Jeffrey Lamar Williams, was one of Icebox's most high-profile clients. The photos were everywhere. Thug standing next to Mo Jeweler, the company's president, both smiling while Thug showed off layers of diamonds. From the outside, it looked like the perfect artist and jeweler connection, but behind the scenes, things started getting complicated. According to Icebox, they provided Young Thug with around $200,000 worth of jewelry over multiple visits. This included items like a $30,000 Rolex, a $20,000 Cartier bracelet, a $30,000 wallet chain, and even a $6,500 rose gold clasp. And this wasn't just a one-time visit. Thug reportedly came through at least 4 different times, leaving each time with more pieces. Icebox claims that over time, payments were made totaling about $95,000, but then suddenly stopped, leaving an outstanding balance of just over $115,000. At that point, the company took legal action, but they didn't stop at the remaining balance. They filed a lawsuit totaling $350,000, which immediately caught attention. But here's where things really escalated. Young Thug didn't just accept it quietly. Through his legal team, he pushed back hard, making serious claims against the company. According to those claims, Icebox had been trying to build a close relationship with him, encouraging him to take expensive pieces without requiring payment up front. Basically, Thug's side was saying the whole situation felt set up. The claim was he was given all this jewelry, fully aware he'd wear it in public and bring attention to the brand. Then later, large payment demands showed up. In legal filings, his team argued that Icebox focused on him as a high-value client, providing pieces, benefiting from his visibility, and then pursuing much higher amounts once things fell apart.
Thug's team pushed for the case to be dismissed completely. And if you step back and look at it, this situation follows a pattern people have been talking about. A popular artist gets approached, receives jewelry through flexible payment setups, promotes it naturally through their lifestyle, and then later faces big invoices that may not match what they expected. And here's where it gets even more intense. Before the lawsuit even hit, there was another situation during a Young Thug and Lil Baby video shoot. Reports claim that around $150,000 worth of jewelry went missing during that shoot, right in the middle of a major production with two huge Atlanta artists. Pieces reportedly disappeared. After that, Icebox pointed responsibility toward Young Thug and included those losses in legal claims. That meant the situation wasn't just about unpaid balances anymore. It expanded into a second dispute involving the missing items from the video shoot. So now, instead of one issue, there were two major legal conflicts happening at the same time. One tied to the jewelry payments and another connected to the missing merchandise. What once looked like a strong business relationship, full of social media moments and public appearances, shifted into a serious legal back and forth. This is what it looks like when the celebrity jeweler model starts falling apart. The friendly energy fades fast when the money slows down. But if that Young Thug situation sounded intense, what happened next had people completely stunned. Back in February 2019, Icebox became the center of one of the most talked about jewelry theft cases in Atlanta. Here's how it played out, and it really does sound like something straight out of a movie. On the night of February 16, 2019, Jeff Desi went out to dinner with his wife. Just a normal evening in Atlanta, nothing unusual at all. But behind the scenes, reports say they were being watched and followed without realizing it. When they got back to their home in Smyrna, just outside Atlanta, things took a serious turn. Individuals wearing masks forced their way inside and restrained the couple, keeping them under control. But this wasn't just about taking items from the house. They were after something much bigger. They demanded access, keys, codes, everything connected to the Icebox store and its safes. Once they had that information, one person stayed behind while others headed toward the store. And that's when the situation escalated even further. Over the next couple of hours, multiple safes inside Icebox were opened and cleared out. Reports say 2 out of 7 safes were emptied, with items taken in a very calculated way. High-end watches, diamond-covered chains, loose stones, and cash were all part of it. The estimated total? Somewhere between $5 million and $10 million worth of merchandise. Yeah, millions. A massive loss that sent shockwaves through the city and had everyone talking about what really went down behind the scenes. When Atlanta police showed up around 2:30 a.m. the next morning after a silent alarm or possible tip, they didn't even notice anything unusual at first. That's how precise the situation was. From the outside, everything looked normal. It wasn't until they got inside that the full scale of what happened became clear, and this is where people really started asking questions. Icebox had built a massive online presence with over 1 million followers on Instagram. They regularly posted videos showing off safes, inventory, and some of their most expensive pieces, almost like a behind-the-scenes look at everything inside. Some people began saying that kind of content revealed way too much, but things got even more questionable after the incident. Reports claim that Icebox didn't immediately provide surveillance footage or a detailed list of missing items to local authorities. And for a business dealing with high-value merchandise, people expected tight security and quick access to that kind of information. The delay definitely caught attention. Online conversations started heating up, with all kinds of theories being thrown around. People were wondering what caused the holdup and why basic details weren't shared right away. The investigation continued for weeks. Then, in March 2019, law enforcement executed search warrants at 2 different locations and took multiple suspects into custody. That's when things started moving forward.
But by then, the story had already grabbed everyone's attention in a major way.
Once those arrests were made, even more details started coming out, and it only made the situation look deeper. Authorities reportedly recovered several pieces connected to Icebox, some of them still carrying original tags and identifiers. That instantly raised more questions about how everything unfolded and who had access to what. Investigators began piecing together how the operation was planned, and reports suggested this wasn't random at all. This looked organized, calculated, and carefully executed over time. The level of detail involved had people wondering how so much information about the store's layout and inventory could have been known. At the same time, the spotlight on Icebox got even brighter. Social media went into overdrive, with people revisiting old videos, past posts, and every public moment tied to the brand. Conversations started shifting from just the incident itself to the bigger picture, how the business operated and how visible everything had been online. Then came even more discussion around the jewelry itself. People started debating value, pricing, and how much customers were really getting for what they paid. The combination of legal issues, public attention, and ongoing questions created a wave of scrutiny that the brand couldn't avoid. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more intense, more voices from the industry began speaking up. Artists, insiders, and observers all adding their perspectives, making it clear this situation wasn't just one isolated moment. It was part of a much bigger conversation. Authorities identified several individuals connected to the case: Jose Hernandez, 38, Tamika Lash Krosky, 44, Gregory Andrews, 34, Macia Sims, 31, and Christelle Krosky, 29. Reports pointed out that Christelle was Tamika's son and was already in custody on unrelated matters at the time. The situation even involved a family connection, which made the story stand out even more. When law enforcement searched the locations tied to the group, they reportedly found diamond rings, necklaces, bracelets, and watches. Some items still had price tags attached, and others carried Icebox branding, making them easier to identify. Along with that, around $27,000 in cash and roughly $50,000 worth of jewelry were recovered. But here's the part that really got people talking. If the total value taken was estimated between $5 million and $10 million, and only a small portion was recovered, what happened to the rest? That leaves millions in merchandise still unaccounted for, and even now, people continue to question where it all ended up. At the time, the acting Cobb County District Attorney made strong public statements, promising serious legal consequences for those involved, and emphasizing how seriously the case was being handled. The message was clear. This situation wasn't being taken lightly. Still, the bigger questions didn't just disappear. People kept bringing up the same points: the missing footage, the delays in sharing information, and the large amount of unrecovered items. Those details kept the conversation alive long after the initial headlines faded. And when you step back, this story connects to something even larger. Icebox is part of a wider world of celebrity jewelers, and over time, similar concerns and debates have come up again and again across that entire space. Remember what Lil Durk said, and this is someone who's actually been around these shops. He went on Instagram and said, "Stop buying all this jewelry without knowing what you're doing." He warned that some pieces in the market aren't what people think they are, and that others may be priced way higher than expected. He even said artists might feel disappointed once they really understand what they bought. Durk also gave clear advice: find one jeweler you trust and stick with them. This isn't coming from a random voice either. This is someone deeply connected to the culture, spending serious money on jewelry, telling others to move carefully. That alone got a lot of attention, and he's not the only one speaking up. There's even a well-known Instagram page called Fake Watch Buster that focuses on reviewing watches and pointing out inconsistencies. They've built a whole platform around analyzing pieces worn by celebrities and jewelers, and they've called out some major names along the way. One situation that really blew up involved Lil Baby at the Met Gala. He was seen wearing a Patek Philippe Nautilus, a watch that reportedly cost around $400,000. At one point, he even shared proof of purchase publicly, confident in what he had.
But then, Fake Watchbuster stepped in and started breaking the watch down, pointing out details they believed didn't match the original specifications. The post spread fast, and suddenly everyone was debating whether the piece was authentic or not. After all the attention, Lil Baby even reached out to protect Philippe directly, suggesting that aftermarket sellers might be misleading buyers. And that's what made this moment so big. One of the top artists in the world spending a massive amount on a watch and still ending up in a situation filled with questions. That's where the hip-hop jewelry scene stands right now, and the situation goes way beyond just watches. The fake Watchbuster page doesn't only question what artists are wearing, they also look closely at the jewelers themselves. Because at the end of the day, the jewelers are the ones with the technical knowledge. They understand diamond grading, materials, and the difference between various types of pieces. So when lower grade items are sold at premium prices to clients who may not know all the details, people start asking serious questions. Some critics even argue that this isn't casual, it's part of how the business works in certain situations. That idea alone has kept the conversation going strong. There have been multiple call-outs over time. Names like Soulja Boy, Lil Scrappy, Waka Flocka, Jada Kiss, and Sean Kingston have all been mentioned in online discussions analyzing different pieces they've worn. In Soulja Boy's case, the topic became so frequent that it turned into viral jokes and memes across social media. Now shifting over to another major name, Johnny Dang. The comparisons here are hard to ignore. The Houston-based jeweler, often called the King of Bling, recently had viral posts spreading online, claiming his store had been searched by authorities over questions about jewelry authenticity. The story moved fast. People were sharing it everywhere, reacting instantly, and adding their own takes. But then, Johnny Dang responded publicly, saying none of it was true. No search, no official case, no confirmed issues with his products. It appeared to be a situation where unverified information spread quickly and took on its own life. But here's what really stands out. The fact that so many people believed it right away says a lot. It shows there's already a level of skepticism around celebrity jewelers, and once a story like that appears, it doesn't take much for it to catch fire and spread everywhere. Trust in the jewelry scene is definitely taking some hits. When artists are publicly warning each other to be careful, when entire Instagram pages are dedicated to questioning pieces, and when legal disputes start piling up between artists and jewelers, it puts the whole industry under a microscope. And that brings the focus right back to Icebox. While there hasn't been any confirmed federal action specifically tied to selling inauthentic jewelry, the combination of situations surrounding the brand, the legal disputes, unanswered questions from the major theft case, ongoing debates about diamond chip pieces, and strong claims made during past conflicts has people talking. All of this points to a bigger issue within the industry itself. The celebrity jeweler model often works on a gap in knowledge. The jeweler understands every detail of the product, while the client may be focused more on how it looks and feels. And that difference can become extremely valuable when certain types of pieces are priced similarly to higher grade items, especially when they appear just as impressive on camera. When presentation becomes the priority and technical details take a back seat, it opens the door for confusion, misunderstandings, and bigger debates about value. That's why more people are starting to look deeper into what they're actually buying. So, where does that leave Icebox now? The business is still active, still posting, still bringing in well-known clients, and still showing off new pieces online. From the outside, everything might look the same as before. Artists are moving smarter now. People like Lil Durk are out here telling others straight up, do your research before spending big money on jewelry. Pages like Fake Watchbuster have pushed transparency into the spotlight, making it something artists can't ignore anymore. Now you've got more buyers asking for certifications, GIA reports, and even independent appraisals before dropping 6 figures on a piece. The Young Thug situation also sent a strong message across the industry. When a major artist makes serious claims about how deals were handled, that kind of story doesn't just fade away. Other artists hear it, their teams hear it, and it changes how future deals are approached. That old approach, letting artists take pieces with flexible payment setups, then turning things legal if the situation falls apart, is getting harder to pull off. People are paying closer attention now, asking more questions, and being more cautious before agreeing to anything. And then there's the 2019 incident. That situation raised ongoing questions about security, insurance, and how information was handled afterward. Several individuals were taken into custody, but a large portion of the merchandise was never recovered. Even years later, people still bring up the missing details, delayed footage, and unanswered questions. Looking at the bigger picture, this all ties into the long relationship between hip-hop and jewelry. From the bold gold chains of the 1980s to the platinum era, and now today's fully diamond-covered styles, jewelry has always been a major part of the culture. Jewelry has always been a symbol of success. It represents making it out, reaching a new level, and showing the world you've arrived. But when the same jewelers meant to help celebrate that success are being questioned, it changes the whole picture completely. Now people are starting to wonder, how many artists out there paid way more than expected for certain pieces? How many chains, watches, and video moments featured diamond chip designs instead of higher-grade stones without buyers fully realizing the difference? And how many deals were signed without fully understanding the fine print based on trust built through social media moments and public appearances? These are the kinds of questions the culture is starting to ask more openly. And naturally, they're the same questions that businesses in this space are now expected to address clearly. At the same time, it's important to keep things balanced. This isn't about saying every item sold by Icebox or any jeweler isn't legitimate. They've been around for years and have plenty of satisfied clients. But when you look at the bigger picture, the legal disputes, public claims, concerns around certain types of pieces, and even warnings coming directly from artists, it creates a need for closer attention. The jeweler realm runs on trust and image. Buyers trust the value they're being offered, and in return, their visibility helps promote the brand to the next wave of customers. But when that trust starts to weaken, the entire system feels it. We're starting to see more of the truth come out, and not just with Icebox, but across the whole scene. The Johnny Dang rumors, the fake watch buster call-outs, the Lil Baby watch situation, it all connects into one bigger story. The relationship between hip-hop and the jewelry world is being looked at more closely than ever. Now people are pushing for real transparency, certifications, proper documentation, independent appraisals. These shouldn't be rare, they should be standard. If someone is spending serious money on a piece, there should be clear proof of what they're actually getting, no questions asked. At the end of the day, artists put in too much work to risk overpaying or getting unclear value in return. The culture is built on authenticity, and that same energy needs to carry over into the business side too. So now the conversation is wide open. What do you think about everything surrounding Icebox? Have you been following all the situations and discussions? Do you think celebrity jewelers are always given fair value, or is there more going on behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm really trying to see where people stand on this. And if you made it this far, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. There's a lot more to cover, and this channel is staying on top of every story, every update, and every angle. Stay informed, stay sharp, and always double check what you're investing in.